Hello everyone and welcome to my Sister-Wise Gossip. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Teresa Giudice shocks daughter Gia with confession. The mother/daughter duo generally enjoys quality time with one another. However, Teresa occasionally makes things a tad harder than they need to be. Check out their latest video and see what Teresa shared during the filming process. Teresa Giudice talks about her time on Dancing with the Stars. Although Teresa Giudice competed on Dancing with the Stars season 31, she didn't prove to be the fiercest competitor. She and her pro dance partner Pasha Pashkov were eliminated second to last in the competition. Entertainer Charli D'Amelio went on to win that year. But even so, that hasn't stopped the RHONJ star from picking up a new step now and then, and her daughter Gia is happy to lend a hand. In a new video for Bravo TV's website, Teresa Giudice and her daughter Gia decided to show off their dance moves. As Gia showed her mother the steps for the TikTok, Teresa appeared hesitant, noting that it looked pretty challenging. Gia noted that they'd probably have to go through the routine a few times to nail it. Although she wasn't much of a dancer, Teresa admitted she wasn't a stranger to repetition. "When I was on Dancing with the Stars, I had to do it like a few times," she informed her daughter. Despite the struggles, the mother/daughter duo gave the routine their best shot and managed to display a polished final product. Teresa even seemed to have learning the steps as she spent some quality time with Gia. Check out the video here. So far, there have been many unknowns when it comes to the future of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. However, most Bravo fans can agree on one thing. Most would love to see Teresa Giudice back on their television screens. Amid the chaos and drama stemming from season 14, many fans speculated that Teresa and her family might receive their own spinoff. After all, she and Melissa Gorga absolutely refused to film together. However, Andy Cohen seemed to silence these rumors, noting that fans shouldn't believe anything they hear until he or Bravo makes an official announcement. Bravo has said nothing. No one has any information. There is no information, he firmly stated. Andy Cohen lived regarding Teresa Giudice's future on the network and RHONJ casting rumors. "I cannot stress this enough. Y'all are not going to hear anything for a while." Do you think RHONJ will get another season with Teresa Giudice? Do you believe a spinoff is in the works? Add your thoughts to the conversation below. For years, the Real Housewives of New Jersey has offered fans front row seats to the Giudice family's triumphs and tribulations. But in a recent, deeply emotional and surprising turn of events, Teresa Giudice dropped a bombshell confession that left her eldest daughter, Gia, utterly stunned, and may just change the future of their relationship forever. It all unfolded in the kitchen of Teresa's sprawling Montville mansion, where Gia had come over for a Sunday family dinner, expecting the usual chaos, laughter, and pasta. But something felt different. Teresa was quieter than usual, her eyes heavy with the kind of emotional weight Gia hadn't seen since the days of Joe Giudice's deportation. And then, without warning, she put down her wine glass, took a deep breath, and said something that turned Gia's world upside down. "Gia," Teresa began, her voice trembling just slightly, "there's something I've been needing to tell you for a long time now. I didn't know how." Gia, confused, lowered her fork. "What's going on, La?" Teresa looked into her daughter's eyes and said it. "I'm thinking about leaving New Jersey." The silence in the room was deafening. Gia blinked. "What?" "I've been looking at properties in California," Teresa continued, her voice quiet but steady. "I didn't want to say anything until I was sure, but Louie and we've been talking about starting fresh, somewhere completely new." Gia's mouth fell open. "You're moving? Like really moving? Across the country?" Teresa nodded slowly. "I know it's a shock, and I wanted to tell you sooner, but I didn't want you to freak out." "Freak out? Ma, are you serious right now?" Gia stood up, her voice rising. "What about the girls? What about me?" Our whole family is here. Nana and Nano, this house. What are you running from? That question hit hard, and for the first time in a long time, Teresa didn't respond with defensiveness or drama. She just running, she said. Sighed. I'm finally listening to myself, for once. And that's when the second, even more surprising confession came. I stayed in Jersey for as long as I did because I felt I had to, Teresa admitted. For you girls, for the cameras, for Nana and Nano, for the idea of being the strong one. But I'm tired, Gia. I'm so tired of fighting everyone's battles. I've been playing this role for so long, I don't even know who I am anymore. Tears welled up in Gia's eyes. She had always seen her mother as a warrior, the Italian firecracker who took on everything and everyone for the sake of her family. The idea that her mother needed to walk away from all of it, for peace, that was something Gia had never fully considered. But Teresa wasn't done. I miss who I used to be, she said, now holding back tears of her own. Before the prison, before the drama, before Louis, I was just a girl from Paterson who fell in love with her high school sweetheart and wanted 4 girls and a happy home. And now, I feel like I'm performing. All the time. Gia, torn between shock and understanding, sat back down. Ma, I get that. I really do. But you leaving Jersey? That's leaving us. I know we're older now, but we still need you close. I still need you. The words broke Teresa. Gia, I will never leave you, I promise. But I need to find something that feels like me again. Not cameras, not housewives, not Joe's ex-wife or Louis' new wife. Just Teresa. I don't even know who she is anymore. Gia wiped a tear from her cheek. Why didn't he ever say any of this before? Teresa smiled sadly. Because I was afraid. Afraid that if I stopped being the strong one, you'd all fall apart, that you'd think I was weak. There was a long pause between them, a silence that felt loaded with 1,000 memories. And then Gia did something that surprised Teresa. She stood up, walked over, and hugged her mom tightly. You're not weak, Gia whispered. You're human, and maybe it's okay if you do this. But promise me you'll always come back. Teresa held her daughter close, her heart breaking and healing all at once. I promise. Later that night, after dinner was cleared and Gabriella, Melania, and Adriana had joined them, Teresa finally told the rest of her daughters. Melania, true to form, exploded in disbelief. Adriana cried. Gabriella asked a million questions. But Gia stood by her mom, supporting her even as her heart felt heavy. In the days that followed, fans got wind of Teresa's potential relocation thanks to a cryptic Instagram post she shared, a photo of a Malibu sunset with the caption, "Sometimes you have to lose yourself to find your peace." Naturally, RONJ fans went into a frenzy. Was this the end of Teresa on the show? Was Bravo losing their OG? While Bravo has yet to confirm Teresa's long-term future on Real Housewives of New Jersey, insiders say her emotional confession may be setting up a major storyline for the next season, a Teresa Giudice exit arc. And if the producers are smart, they'll let the storyline breathe. This isn't just about a move. It's about a woman finally reclaiming her voice. Gia, meanwhile, is said to be taking the news better than expected. After all, she's always been her mother's rock. But the real surprise isn't that Teresa might leave Jersey. It's that she finally admitted she doesn't have it all together, that she's scared, that she's worn down, and that she's ready for change. Whether Teresa ends up leaving for good or just spends some time on the West Coast to find herself, one thing's for sure. Her confession to Gia will go down as one of the most genuine, heartfelt moments in RHONJ history.